push them in the other direction, which for many is a good thing. Here's the Breakfast Show guide to get the most out of the market this year. With me is Zephyr. Sorry, my screen is just disappearing. Sentinel, that's right, an independent Cheltenham estate agent based in Presbury. Morning to you.
Good morning, Mark. Thank you very much.
Have I got the pronunciation right? I'm sorry, my screen just disappeared for a minute.
Almost. Yeah, his name is Zephyr Sentinel, but people usually call me Zaf. If I say Zephyr, they won't even recognise who I am.
Okay, I've got you. That's lovely. Let's cut into it first of all, really, if we can, about predictions, really, where you, within the market, are feeling when interest rates might drop a little bit, and when is it right, when it looks to remortgaging, getting the first mortgage, all that sort of stuff. How closely are you watching that, and what are your feelings?
Well, I have been an estate agent in Gloucestershire for the last 19 years, so we have always seen the ups and downs in the market itself with the house prices and with the interest rates as well. There's not a good time for buying a property. The sooner you buy it, the better it will be getting onto the property ladder. When I first started in 2003, the interest rates used to be like 6, 7, 8%. And I used to work for a big corporate at that point. And when we used to have the rate about 5%, we used to call everybody going, oh my God, we got an amazing deal. You have to come and speak to our mortgage advisor. Now you can get mortgages like fixed rate 4.39, and people are saying it's too much money. I think people forget we had it quite easy for the last sort of 5 years with interest rate. It's been quite cheap, and but I think we're just going back to normality now. And it's same with the house prices as well. For the last 2 or 3 years, it's gone up again because of the pandemic and everything else. But now the market is adjusting. So if you go back to the normal market in 2019, the figures, the house prices, the demand and supply is still very up. So the market is going to be great.
I think that if you go back in time exponentially, depending on what people were spending on their mortgage compared to other things they were spending, it's a slightly different calculation, isn't it? But I do take your point. But the bottom line is, I think a lot of people were shocked last year, weren't they, with what happened with the mini budget. And it was a bit, obviously very difficult for people right now. I've heard that people are probably going to leave it till the spring if they're going to go for a major investment when it comes to a mortgage for the first time or remortgaging. Would you understand why people will be waiting 2 or 3 months?
Of course, yeah. Since the thank you to Liz Truss and everything else, the interest rate's gone up, and but it is adjusting now. So first it went up to 6.7, but now it's like 4.39, 4.74. So the market is adjusting, and the people are already coming back and start looking for their homes and picking up mortgages as well. So I understand that. And I think the year goes on, it might go down a little bit because obviously the mortgage market is very competitive with all the lenders and stuff, so they have to give out competitive rates. And also for the first-time buyers especially, it's a good market because people are more likely to take offers on their property now they wouldn't do in the last sort of 2 or 3 years because the market has been like the seller's market. And also, I think it's an amazing opportunity now for people upsizing because they're selling their properties smaller, so they might be losing a little bit, but when they're buying a bigger property, they're definitely going to gain a lot. So it's definitely the time to move for those people.
And finally, and we do have to end with it, for those of us who, I take no joy in house prices going up. You might, I don't, because I've got 2 kids in their 20s who probably haven't got a hope in hell of buying a house as a first-time buyer in Gloucestershire, maybe unless they get into their 40s or they do a joint deal with a whole group of other people. So coming back to the reality in our counties about the first-time buyer, where do you think they're going to be placed this year?
It's great for the first-time buyers because they're going to have a less competition because the investors are not looking to buy properties nowadays for buy-to-let, and those buy-to-let investors, landlords, they're trying to offload some of their properties as well. So that means there will be some nice properties on the market for first-time buyers in the price range from 150 to sort of 250. And so they don't actually have to go over the asking price, and they can actually offer, maybe 5% less than the asking price, and they might even get that property. So it's definitely a good time to buy for them.
You are a great spokesperson for flogging houses, I've got to say. That's why you've been in the business for so long, and no doubt so
Thank you very much,
so successful. You batted everything back and put me in my little box room. That still cost £275,000 just to get that. Thank you, Zaf, for being with us, independent Cheltenham estate agent based in Prestbury.